A letter to God. Before you read, they say faith can move mountains, but what should we put our faith in? This is the question this story delicately poses. Lencho is a farmer who writes a letter to God when his crops are ruined, asking for 100 pesos. Does Lencho's letter reach God? Does God send him the money? Think what your answers to these questions would be, and guess how the story continues before you begin to read it. The house, the only one in the entire valley, sat on the crest of a low hill. From this height, one could see the river and the field of ripe corn dotted with the flowers that always promised a good harvest. The only thing the earth needed was a downpour, or at least a shower. Throughout the morning, Lencho, who knew his fields intimately, had done nothing else but see the sky towards the northeast. Lencho was a farmer who lived on the only house that was there on the top of a hill. The hill was not very high. From his house he could see a river and his cornfield, which was ready to get harvested. Lencho had the utmost confidence that he would get good profit. The only thing he was waiting for was a shower of rain. Hoping for the rain to come, he spent the entire morning gazing at the sky in the northeast direction. Suddenly he felt a drizzle and hoped his field would get a shower. "Now we are really going to get some water, women." "The women was preparing supper," replied. "Yes, God willing." The older boys were working in the field, while the smaller ones were playing near the house until the women called to them all, "Come for dinner." It was during the meal that, just as Lencho had predicted, big drops of rain began to fall. His wife was preparing supper. Lencho, looking at the sky, confidently tells his wife that his field is going to get a rain shower. His wife hoped for the same, but felt that everything must happen as they thought. The elder children were working in the field and the younger ones were playing near the house. Lencho's wife called everyone for dinner. While she was calling, big drops of rain began to fall. It happened just as how Lencho predicted. In the northeast, huge mountains of clouds could be seen approaching. The air was fresh and sweet. The man went out for no other reason than to have the pleasure of feeling the rain on his body. And when he returned, he exclaimed, "These aren't raindrops falling from the sky. They are new coins. The big drops are 10-cent pieces and the little ones are fives." Lencho felt very happy as the rain fell. The wind was pleasant and he could see the clouds seen approaching from the north sky. Lencho goes out to feel the pleasure of the raindrops on his body. He refers to the drizzle as coins, the larger droplets of water equivalent to 10 cents and the smaller one to be 5 cents. He compares the droplets with coins as he felt that these raindrops would ensure a good crop, which would eventually get him a lot of money. With a satisfied expression, he regarded the field of ripe corn with its flowers draped in a curtain of rain. But suddenly a strong wind began to blow, and along with the rain, very large hailstones began to fall. These truly did resemble new silver coins. The boys, exposing themselves to the rain, ran out to collect the frozen pearls. On seeing everything go as expected, Lencho reflected upon the field and the flowers covered with droplets which seemed as if they were wrapped in a curtain. Unexpectedly, strong wind started blowing, leading to a hailstorm. The writer refers to these frozen pearls as new silver coins. The innocent boys became playful and went out in the rain to play and collect these hailstones which looked like frozen pearls. "It's really getting bad now," exclaimed the man. "I hope it passes quickly." It did not pass quickly. For an hour the hail rained on the house, the garden, the hillside, the cornfield, on the whole valley. The field was white as if covered with salt. Not a leaf remained on the trees. The corn was totally destroyed. The flowers were gone from the plants. Lencho's soul was filled with sadness. When the storm had passed, he stood in the middle of the field and said to his sons, "A plague of locusts would have left more than this." Lencho felt that the situation was getting worsened. He hoped the hailstorm to pass away quickly, but in vain. The hail rained on the house, the garden, the hillside, the cornfield, and on the whole valley for an hour. The whole field was white in color as if covered with salt. The farmer Lencho expected the storm to get over quickly, but to his disappointment it did not happen. Not a leaf was left out on the trees. The corn was totally destroyed. The flowers were dropped from the plants. Lencho felt very sad. When the storm completely stopped, he went to the middle of the field and said to his sons that the storm proved to be worse than that of the crop-destroying insects. The hail has left nothing. This year we will have no corn. That night was a sorrowful one. All our work for nothing. There is no one who can help us. We'll all go hungry this year. Lencho felt that all their hard work had gone in vain. He felt helpless as no corn had been left and feared that they might have to starve the whole year. He had no other hope other than God. But in the hearts of all who lived in that solitary house in the middle of the valley, there was a single hope, help from God. Don't be so upset, even though this seems like a total loss. Remember, no one dies of hunger. That's what they say. No one dies of hunger. All through the night, Lencho thought only of his one hope, the help of God, whose eyes, as he had been instructed, see everything, even what is deep in one's conscience. Even after the great loss, Lencho's family still had a hope in their hearts. They had hope and faith in the Almighty. The family members gave support among themselves. They recalled a saying which assures that no one in the world ever die of starvation. All through the night, Lencho had only one hope, that is, the help of God, whose eyes see everything, what is deep in one's conscience. Here, the meaning of conscience is an inner sense of what is right or wrong. Lencho was an ox of a man working like an animal in the fields, but still he knew how to write. The following Sunday at daybreak, he began to write a letter which he himself would carry to town and place in the mail. It was nothing less than a letter to God. God, he wrote, if you don't help me, my family and I will go hungry this year. I need 100 pesos in order to sow my field again and to live until the crop comes, because the hailstorm. Lencho was a hard-working man. He plans to write a letter to God, conveying his sorrow. Despite spending all these years in the farm, Lencho still knew to write. One Sunday morning, he started to write a letter to God and planned to mail it himself by going to the town. In his letter to God, he communicated about his poverty-stricken situation and mentioned that he needed 100 pesos to generate the crops and also for his family's survival until the crops gets ready for harvest. He also added that all this is because of the hailstorm. He wrote to God on the envelope, put the letter inside and still troubled went to town. At the post office, he placed a stamp on the letter and dropped it into the mailbox. One of the employees, who was a postman and also helped at the post office, went to his boss laughing heartily and showed him the letter to God. Never in his career as a postman had he known that address. He wrote the letter, put it into the envelope and went to the town post office. There, he placed a stamp on the letter and dropped it into the mailbox. After taking the letter from the mailbox, the postman went to his boss laughing heartily and showed him the letter to God. Never in his career the postman had seen or known the address. The postmaster, a fat, amiable fellow, also broke out laughing, but almost immediately he turned serious and tapping the letter on his desk, commented, "What faith! I wish I had the faith of the man who wrote this letter," starting up a correspondence with God. So, in order not to shake the writer's faith in God, the postmaster came up with an idea. Answer the letter. But when he opened it, it was evident that to answer it he needed something more than goodwill, ink and paper. But he stuck to his resolution. He asked for money from his employees. He himself gave part of his salary, and several friends of his were obliged to give something for an act of charity. The postmaster and postman felt amused, but the postmaster, who was a fat and friendly man, felt a sense of seriousness. He was surprised to see the faith Lencho has in God, and he wished he had the same faith. With good intention, the postmaster thought of replying to it, but Lencho's request could not be filled with pen or paper. He demanded 100 pesos, so the postmaster, along with his colleagues and few friends who were willing to donate for a good cause, came forward to help Lencho. It was impossible for him to gather together the 100 pesos, so he was able to send the farmer only a little more than half. He put the money in an envelope addressed to Lencho, and with it a letter containing only a single word as a signature, God. The postmaster could not collect 100 pesos. Instead, he could collect only a little more than half. He could not fulfill Lencho's wish. The postmaster put the money in an envelope addressed to Lencho and with a letter containing a single word as a signature, God. The following Sunday, Lencho came a bit earlier than usual to ask if there was a letter for him. It was the postman himself who handed the letter to him, while the postmaster, experiencing the contentment of a man who has performed a good deed, looked on from his office. Lencho showed not the slightest surprise on seeing the money. Such was his confidence. But he became angry when he counted the money. God could not have made a mistake, nor could he have denied Lencho what he had requested. Next Sunday, Lencho came looking for the reply a bit earlier than the expected time. The postmaster handed him the letter. He wanted to see his joyful and happy face, so he looked from his office. Lencho did not show even a slight surprise on seeing the money. He became angry when he counted the money. He felt that God cannot make such a mistake. Immediately, Lencho went up to the window to ask for paper and ink. On the public writing table, he started to write with much wrinkling of his brow, caused by the effort he had to make to express his ideas. When he finished, he went to the window to buy a stamp, which he licked and then affixed to the envelope with a blow of his fist. The moment the letter fell into the mailbox, the postmaster went to open it. It said, God, of the money that I asked for, only 70 pesos reached me. Send me the rest, since I need it very much. But don't send it to me through the mail, because the post office employees are a bunch of crooks. Lencho. Lencho felt very disappointed and took a paper and ink to write to God again. While writing, his eyebrows curled out of concentration. He was drafting a new request to God. As he completed, he affixed it with a stamp and dropped it in the mailbox. The postmaster took the letter and read it out. In the letter, Lencho complained that he had received only 70 pesos and he wrote that he was in need of the remaining amount. He doubted the integrity and honesty of the post office employees and suggested God to not send the money through post because he doubted that the staff in the post office might take away the remaining amount sent to him.